Good afternoon and welcome everyone to the Trading Talk Uncensored live Q&A session. My name is Danny and I will give you the webinar today. Let's explain what will happen in the webinar and then we can take it from there. The first part will be the previous questions. First of all, this is a live questions and answers, so that means that it's live, and obviously you can get you can ask whatever questions you want, and I will paste it in here in the dynamic questions. This is the true purpose of this webinar. But we will open the webinar with the previous questions that we received from our team, which is here. Okay, we'll go through the questions, we'll answer them, and then we'll get to the dynamic questions. That part, the third slide, is more informative, okay, to save you the trouble to get to certain places on the website through those links. I'm going to show you a way on the interface to get to those same links without using the links, okay? Things that are already embedded here in the web trader that I can show you, but I'm going to send you the links for you to have it anyway. And that slide over here is going to assist us if we'll need to demonstrate some analysis. All right. And it's important to know that any capital markets and trading information disclosed in this webinar is provided for informative purposes only and should not be constructed or applied as an investment advice, recommendation, or a suggestion. Now, a very common question is if it's possible to get the recording of the webinar. And the answer is absolutely yes. You can find not just the recording of this webinar, but all the other webinars we're doing on YouTube on our channel. You can just it's not there immediately when we are done. There is some processing to do, but eventually it will be there along with the rest of the recordings of the other webinars, which is a lot of educational content for you guys to enjoy. Regardless of what I'm teaching, basically you can just use the question section and ask whatever you want, and I will paste it down here. And we will open a webinar, as I have explained, with the previous questions. We're going to go through them and see which one we are going to begin with. All right, so the first one is, what is an easy way to identify support and resistance? Okay, then. How to use execute when price hits. Okay, that's one of the pending orders. How can I add another chart to my screen? Okay, it's very easy. I'm going to show you. How can I receive personal trading assistance with AvaTrade? Absolutely yes. Okay, so let's see which question we're going to take first. It would make sense to begin with that because this is really taking 5 seconds to add another chart. Then we can have a quick explanation about pending orders and then support and resistance. Maybe we'll combine them all. We'll see. Let's have that one and paste it in our notepad. Okay. So how can I add another chart to my screen? Right, so how can we do it? As you can see, this interface here is called a web trader. To access this interface, all you have to do is just to log in with your email and password, and it's supposed to be just like that or like this with the lists at the top. You can fold it, you can extend it or fold it by clicking here on the 2 tiny arrows. So let's try that. Okay, it goes up and down. And to add another chart, all you have to do, as you can see here at the top, we have the toolbar. So we can go 3 to the right. So we have the search bar. This is where I could search. Let's put down something, then click it, it appears. Okay, if I go from the search bar 3 to the right, so we have 1, 2, 3, then the fourth will be the layout change. And in the layout change, I can choose how many instruments I want with a limit of 4. So we can have it this way, we can have it that way, with 1 at the bottom and 1 at the top. We can have it this way. We can also have it aligned sideways like this, which is more challenging, maybe you can customize it with the wheel on your mouse, right? You can scroll up and down with a wheel. For laptop users, you know what I'm talking about, okay? And we can even have 4 this way. We can, again, customize whatever chart we want and then analyze a few things simultaneously. Yeah, like I said, really doesn't take more than a second. The only thing is, I would recommend you to pay attention to what's happening here too on the right, because let's suppose I'm going to go with silver now for the demonstration. Let's click buy to open here the order entry. As you can see, we have here order entry, this tab divided to 2. In here, I have the information of the instrument, and in here, I can execute the position. Okay, and if I'm adding another one, it doesn't really matter how it's aligned. But let's suppose okay, we added NASDAQ here at the bottom underneath. So to trade NASDAQ, to mark NASDAQ, first of all, I have to select it. So to select it, you see there is a blue frame around the chart, right? So so that means that it's selected. Now, if I'll click here, then this one is selected, right? But still here it's showing me silver. So if I wouldn't have this opened like this, and I would have silver in the beginning, and then I expand and I have here NASDAQ, okay, at the bottom, and then I switch and I click buy or sell, then I have it appears, okay? But if I change, it doesn't change here. Okay, you guys understand the difference, right? When I'm selecting another one, let's suppose, for the sake of the example, let's go with Aussie yen. Okay, so Aussie yen is marked, is selected, but in here, the composition is still on NASDAQ. So to activate this, all I have to do is click sell or buy. Let's go this time with the sell. And it's on. Okay, and I can change. Okay, same apply with the time frame and the rest of the things. Okay, that's right here. To select, to change something, you have to first select it. So let's suppose I want to change as you can see, we have both of the charts are NASDAQ, right? And let's suppose we want to change that to to Apple, even though it's closed. Okay, so I've written down Apple, click here, and we have it. So to trade Apple now, as you can see, this is still on Aussie yen. So to trade Apple now, to open it in here in this interface, I must click sell or buy, right? So let's go with buy. And then it's selected. Again, it's not going to let us trade because the market is closed, but you guys understand the point here, okay? Yeah, very flexible and easy to use. Do we have any questions about that part, guys? Or any questions in general? We have a question here from Mr. Parabas. Thank you very much. Can I still put limit or stop loss after execute a buy or a sell? Yes, sir. Absolutely. Let me just take your question and paste it here. Yeah, this is from Mr. Parabas. We'll get to that in a minute. We'll get to that. Do we have any questions about what I've explained now? Any questions at all? Or any other questions in general? What's the best? Christopher, you're asking what's the best strategy to use? That's a very common question. Let's pass that part first. Regarding this question, do we have any more questions? Okay, so we are good. Thank you, Chris. Let me quickly paste your question here. Okay, this way. Okay, looks a bit different. Maybe we have to do it this way. Okay. All right. So no questions regarding what I explained. So we can carry on. Let's have the other one. We had this one. So the solution for that one is not really something I can write. So I'm gonna put here the answer is showed on the screen. On at that toolbar at the top is an icon for layout change. And as I showed, you can select different assets and switch and trade, and it's very easy to use. There is a question here from Suresh. Where do you trade stock options? Okay, that's also an excellent question. Let's paste your question here. We'll do it this way. Change it to 3. Okay, sorry. Perfect. Is it possible to trade options? Show me how. I've been struggling. Yeah, so the answer for your question is that unfortunately, no. We have currencies, gold and silver, commodities and Forex, but not stocks, not as far as I'm aware of at this stage. I hope it makes sense. Yeah, let's quickly carry on here. Let's have that one in our notepad, and I think the other one as well. This makes sense to that one. This is an easy way, right? And then perhaps we can use this when we find support and resistance. This can make sense. Okay. So first of all, let's understand quickly what is support and resistance. Let's get rid of really everything that is here. That as well. So we can have a nice clean chart to work with. A few tips to customize the chart, guys. This is super important to be able to the visibility of the screen and the way that the chart is presented. So for instance, if I'm going to analyze the chart looking like that, let's put it this way, it will be very challenging, right, for me to see anything. Or the other way around, if I do it this way, it's not really giving me a lot, right? I mean, everybody can analyze the way that they want, but I want to give you guys the ability to customize the chart in a way that makes sense for you. So the way to do it, first of all, as you can see, if I click and drag, I can move the chart. As I've explained before, you can also scroll with a wheel on your mouse. So you can scroll up to get closer, scroll down to go farther. Another thing that you can do is, because I cannot move the chart up and down. If I click, it goes left and right, but not up and down. So to be able to move it up and down, what you need to do, as you can see, this is the column price. It's, as you can see, the ray here is presenting the price. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click. It doesn't really matter if it's here, 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 as long as it's in the column, right? Maybe I can put it this way. Then it would make sense, right? So you see what's to the right side to the pink line here. You can click and drag up and down, click and drag up and down, and then it lets you customize the chart and also move it up and down. And then you can get a very nice picture of a certain segment you wish to analyze. Let's see if we have anything interesting there. Not really. All right, so to find support and resistance, the exercise that we are going to use is very, very simple. And we have a question here. Can you please demonstrate how to put a limit or stop loss? Thank you. Yes, yes, yes. That's exactly what I'm gonna do with execute when price hits. That's exactly that, Mr. Parvas. Okay, what it does is it lets you place a certain price on the chart. Okay, right here at the right hand side, one of the three pending orders in here. You can just enable them all like this, enable, enable, enable. Of course, I wouldn't recommend you to just blindly click here buy, because this is what the platform suggests as the minimum place to place it, and not a recommended. This is, you can, if you want to have take profit and stop loss predetermined analysis, you can use the signal section. Okay, like that. Don't worry, guys. I'm going back to the chart in really a second. I want to show you. So if we take gold as an example, we click here on view signal, right? And then we there is a buy scenario, there is a sell scenario in here. The support and resistance are already on the chart. I then can click buy as an example, and then I have take profit and stop loss placed. Okay, right now the ratio doesn't look so great. I can of course change it, okay, for something that make more sense to me, maybe a little too much, maybe this way, okay, and then it would make more sense. But the point here is that if you're using the default suggested stop loss and take profit, you might want to modify that. Just a second, we'll go back to Hi guys, we are back. I'm sorry for the inconvenience. We had a little delay with the connection, so we had to fix that before we carry on with the webinar. I hope that everybody can still hear me correctly and that you can see the screen here. Just a second. Okay, we are back, and we are back after we have opened two new questions, which are the how to use execute when price hits, and what is an easy way to identify support and resistance. So, as I was about to explain about how to customize the chart, what we would like to do is, first of all, let's bring back what we had before. Okay, we had silver here, and as I showed, the way to customize the chart, not only moving it up and down, but also up, left and right, but also up and down, is by clicking here on the column price, click and squeeze it down, and then it can go up and down, right? And we can scroll up and down with a wheel on our mouse. And with that, we can extend or minimize, basically getting closer or farther from the chart. Okay, now how do we identify support and resistance? So support and resistance, the way that it works is the peak points in our chart, the edge points, just like this one, just like that one, just like this one. So how do we use it to analysis? First of all, let's get rid of the rectangle here and place fresh new lines. If I go all the way to the right, so in here we changed the layout, right? So if I go all the way from the search bar all the way to the sell and the buy, just before that we have the tiny arrow here. We can click it, scroll down a list, and in this lists we have those price line. Whoever used MetaTrader 4 or MetaTrader 5 know them as horizontal line. Those will be the vertical line. trend line. Okay, so to find support and resistance, what I can basically do is I can take a price line just like that one. I'm going to click here, then click on the chart, and then I'm going to click again on the line, and I'm going to drag it. I'm going to drag it up and down. Let's suppose I'm going to drag it to this level. And why did I do it? Because as you can see, there is a candle here higher than the rest. And there is another one here just before that, which is higher than that level. And there is another one here underneath. Okay. Now it's true that if I'll go back and I scroll down like this, I can get even prior levels of support and resistance, right? I can do that. Even though this is, as far as I'm concerned, this is all times high and there is no prior record of silver being like that. But with any other assets, you can find support and resistance way back. But the point is that it's not necessarily useful. Why is it not necessarily useful? Because when we are doing analysis, we would like to pinpoint a certain time frame that makes sense with what we're experiencing now. You can see that the segment here, okay, just let's place quickly a rectangle here, another one in here, and another one in here. And we can see that at the moment, with those place lined, we can see that those are completely different segments with different fluctuations. And we probably want to take something recent and not too far back. Okay, so in this case, let's carry on with support and resistance. If we would like to place some more, we could place here at the bottom. Again, we're aiming for the lowest or the highest on the chart. So this is one and this is one, but just a second, what is support and what is resistance? So support, if this is a room, would be the floor, and resistance will be the ceiling, right? Higher points versus lower points. How does this, how can we use it with analysis to do analysis? Because those are levels that we believe that will only be passed if something fundamental will justify that. So there are certain levels in here which is elaborated on the chart, as you can see it here. Let's place one in here for that guy, right? And we can see that this is a recent viable support line. Obviously, we're going to take the recent one as well. Sorry, not with that. Okay, but don't learn from me to place 1,000 lines on the chart, because you can get confused by that. You can just keep the major relevant lines that you want to keep, like this. And then you have the recent levels. You have the, oh, let's keep that one as well. All right, so we have some few at the bottom, some few at the top. At the moment, the market seems bearish. I can assume that this is the first segment. This might be, this might be the first segment. This might be the second, and this is the bottom, right? We have lower points than that, but as I've explained, I don't want to go too far back. Okay, so this is a nice way to identify support and resistance. And let's see how we can combine that with the question below. So we have a question here, how to use execute when price hits. And also in the audience, there is a question, how to use stop loss or take profit. So to be able to use this with the analysis that we've done, not really analysis, but just placing the lines here, how can we use it? So let's click here on buy as an example. And with the buy here, we're going to enable execute when price hits, which is what the question is referring to. We also have here take profit. Let's enable that. And let's also enable the stop loss. And now to simulate this very quickly, because the current price is 30.5 or 30.6 with for a buy, right? Let's do it this way. Okay, we can just add here $1. We can reduce here $1, and then we have a flat number. not exactly flat because the execute when price hits is not defined. But if we define it this way to be a flat 30, we'll understand what it means, right? Don't worry. Just a second. 30 in here. So this is 30. Let's make it 30.5, and this 29.5. Okay, but with the spread, we might want to have it 31. Well, let's keep it like this. Let's keep it like this. Doesn't make a lot of difference. That means when the price reaches that level, when it reaches 30, it will launch a buy. And because we have, let's flatten that out, and because we have 1,000 units and it needs to go $0.50 up, this is why I wanted it to be 31, this one, because we have 1,000 units, we have 1,000 ounces, and it troubles from the, let's suppose that our entry will be the white line. Just a second. Okay, and our target price for take profit will be, let's turn it to a sell quickly here. Again, flatten that out. Clicking here, flatten that out to 30. Making the take profit 31 and the stop loss 29. Sorry, with that. Oh, sorry. It should have been the other way around. Let's understand also why. So, reviewing this again, when we are with a sell, our intention is that the value will decrease, and therefore our stop loss from 30 became 29. 29 is in here. Okay, let's again flatten that out, make it green for take profit, and at the top we can add the stop loss 31, just like that, and we'll mark it as red. And now if it launches the position, if silver gets to 30, what will happen is it will launch the position at 30 per ounce, and if it travels all the way down to 29, we will make $1,000. Okay, this is why when we are selling, our take profit, which is a pending order that closes the position automatically when reaching the price, is it needs to be at a lower value. Buying means that we want the value to increase, but selling means that we want the value to decrease, and this is why the take profit will be in a lower part, and the take profit will be in the stop loss will be in a higher part. Okay, and the way to use it at the moment, I was going with the trend. I was going with a bearish trend, taking a sell. Just a second. But if I would want to go against the trend, as an example, and I would want to take a buy, that means that if it would have gotten lower than that, if it would have gotten to 30, it will launch the buy at 30. So that's going against the trend. Right now we are with the trend, and if it keeps going down to 30, it will launch us a sell. We cannot know if we will make profits or if it will be triggered, and this is why I can also limit this to expire, and I can choose, okay, if it doesn't happen until next week, as an example, if it doesn't get to 30, I want to cancel that out. Okay, and I can also modify this while I have the position running. If I'll go to positions, and in positions I have in this interface also a way to customize take profit and stop loss. If I want to go back and click in here or in here in the trade, and that is wonderful. Do we guys have any questions until this stage? Any questions at all about that or about this? Any questions? What time frame? All right, so Steve is asking what time frame I suggest to analyze. Steve, I cannot suggest what time frame to analyze generically, because that depends on your intention. For instance, if you're a daily trader, would it make sense to analyze minutes? Maybe, right? For fun. But what would make sense is to look at days, or maybe 4 hours, or maybe weeks, right? There is a range. If you're doing scalping, would it make sense to analyze months? Not really, right? Because we want to have a closer look, to be next to the candles and understand what's happening in quick pace. Okay. But that's an excellent question. What time frame to analyze? It's very important to understand that to analyze one time frame is not always a good idea. One to analyze, usually we would like to analyze more than one time frame to have a variety of angles on the chart if it makes sense. Alrighto, so let's take that, paste it at the, well, let's see how we can answer that. To find support and resistance, we can pick edge points, prices on the chart, and mark them with a horizontal, horizontal line or price line. Okay. Right. Use execute price hits. Okay, so execute when price hits. The way that it works is we set the price for the platform to launch the position when reaching the price, which is a replacement for buy limit, sell limit, sell stop, or buy stop. Okay, great. Now, how can we add another chart? We already went through that. The last question we have today is, can I get personal trading assistance with AvaTrade? The answer is absolutely yes. A senior account manager can be assigned on your file and provide you with personal assistance on trading, okay, with a plan, strategy, analysis, risk planning management, and basically all other trading topics. And for customer service, you can contact customer service. If you don't have an account manager, you might want to contact customer service to ask for somebody to be assigned. Now, the questions we received here: where do you trade stock options? On options, currently we can trade Forex and commodities. Right? Sorry. What is on the trading platform? Ava options. Not what I'm showing you now. What I'm showing you now is something a little different. It's called CFDs, contract for difference. What is the best strategy to use? This is maybe the most common questions. Exist. But that also depends on the time frame, the availability, the level of where you're at, how experienced you are at. So there is no really best strategy to use. There is a strategy that can go along with your lifestyle and you can perform and make profits with. But I can write down a good strategy needs to be strategy that is doable, that let's say can go along with your lifestyle. I think it needs to be that can be systematic, easy to perform, not easy to perform, but that it won't be too complicated and too time consuming. Otherwise, it might not serve for the long run. Should have risk money management, and needs to design how to do the analysis and what it will be based on. Okay, there are a lot of things that I can include that needs to be in a strategy, but those are really the basic things that I think to begin from. There are more complicated strategy which involves with hedging and other things, but we're not there, and I don't have time to explain about it anyway. So I'm just giving here an idea how to evolve, and from that you can diverse. This one we already saw. So sold on the chart, basically execute when price hits, stop loss, take profit, equals as I wrote at the previous slide. That's buy limit, buy stop, sell limit, and sell stop. It just presented differently with different names. It's the same exact function. To share with you guys those links, I'm just gonna paste it in on the chat. You can enjoy that. This is for more education. That one is to log in and make a deposit. That one is the FAQ and the help center. That one here is to open a real account for people who are still playing with a demo. And this is the academy, but I also want to show you how to access the academy from here. So you can see the to the left here, we have some icons. If I go all the way to the bottom, not all the way to the chat, but just before that, we have education, which I've sent you the links already. If I'll click on Academy, it takes me here. And on top of that, we have tutorials. Let's click that. And then it opens a nice library with videos for you to enjoy on top of the webinars. Oh, I also want to give you here the promotion, special promotion code. Okay, so I'm gonna give you that on the chat like this. And the Q&A benefit is something you can give to your senior account manager to be able to receive a premium market review. All right, so I hope everybody enjoyed this webinar and learned at least one quick thing. I'm sorry for the little break we had to take. I'm happy that we could fix that. I wish you all a fruitful week. Best of luck with trading and have a good day.